Hi crypto kings and queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode, I will show you the full analysis that I see on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the overall is that we just might pull back up to 25,000 or potentially 26,790 from these levels. We can drop back down to 13,400. Okay, so let's say 13,500. But before we're reaching those levels, we just might see the market pull back down to these Fibonacci levels to then reach targets 23,090 and 23,600, and until we're reaching the higher time frames levels, the market needs to do a lot of things in between. I will also show you exactly how I see this on Ethereum. Remember, I am no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please continue looking at this video and I'll show you exactly why I do believe the market can pull back down here to then go back up here for then drop back down to 13,500 on Bitcoin. I just want to do a quick analyze on Bitcoin and Ethereum from the beginning, and we start off with looking at where the market has been consolidating now for 3 to 4 weeks. So we're just gonna drag a support trend line, and we can see that we're connected it with December 7th of December 2020. We're coming back down to the support right now. So what it looks like, we're closing the weekly chart with not an engulfing candle. It can definitely be an engulfing candle depending on it's closing in 8 hours and 42 minutes. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to drag a Fibonacci from 32,420 back down to the support at 7,566. This gives me Fibonacci level 1561% at 25,015 or 14, 26,745. So what I'm going to do is that I will drag a box right here, because now we understand that if we see a bigger pullback to the upside, this is definitely a level we can see the market pull back up to. And if this is the case, that I see us pull back up to these levels, the target overall, so this is a swing trade, that is 13,590. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is that we will just identify that this is the level that I potentially can see Bitcoin pull back down to, and then we're just gonna drag or take this one away. Okay, so now we know that overall I do expect the market to pull back up to these Fibonacci levels for then potentially now. So it's gonna be interesting to see if this is actually happening by just using the technical tools to see where it potentially can come to based on the Fibonacci levels too. And now we go down to the daily chart. Okay, so another thing that I did a couple of I think it was yesterday when I was back testing myself, I also took a Fibonacci from 17,570 back up to 21,900. So what happened and why I did this, because I want to understand the move that we are looking at the moment. Why did the market pull back up? Okay, because when we took the Fibonacci from this low to this high, what happened was that the market pulled back down to the 50 and the 61% at 19,200, and then we saw the market pull back to the upside. Another target that I can see potentially Bitcoin pull back up to right now is 23,050. So another thing that I will do right now is that I will highlight this level too, because this can definitely be where we see the market pull back up from this level right now. And now you can see the market pulls back down for then potentially continue to the upside. But based on this move, we can pull back up to 23,070. Okay, so we understand that the whole move right now, before we're reaching these Fibonacci levels, that the market can reach 23,070. So we're just gonna make it a round number right here. And another thing that I will do now to calculate where this higher low can potentially be created, because if we drag a Fibonacci at the moment, we can see that we did break the resistance trend line. Even though we are right now looking at the weekly, we are at a support, but based on that, I do believe that we can have a bigger pullback looking at the weekly candlestick, because that's the one that I do follow. Okay, so we can identify that we did break this resistance trend line. So what I'm going to do now is that I'll drag another Fibonacci from 18,770 back up to 22,587. Okay, so what we can see right now is that we can also pull back down now to potentially the 50% that we are slightly above at 20,716, or the 61.8% at 20,244. So we just might see the market pull back down to these levels now for then continue to the upside. And if that is the case, we will also take the first target that I spoke about at 23,070. And we also have another level right here that based on this move, if we see that the market now pulls back up from these levels, we can also reach this level. So based on this Fibonacci, and then obviously the market will continue to give me more higher highs and higher lows, etc. But based on what I'm looking at right now, this is definitely a level we can pull back down now and retest. So we're going to highlight that level. So we know now that we just might come back down and retest and create a higher low, potentially around 20,670 and 20,250. From these levels, as I told you, a higher low can potentially be created, and then we slowly and steady see the market reach these two, take profits based on the first leg that we did retest, and then from this one. So take profit is 23,090 and 23,600. So we're just going to change it to round numbers right here, so we have a clean chart. This is what I actually look for right now when it comes to Bitcoin. What I'm going to wait for the market to do is we can also use a resistance trend line right here. And we can see at the moment we're still below this trend line, but this can definitely be a pullback that we're looking at. Let's see how it looks on the 12-hourly chart. So we can see that we did have a previous resistance right here at 20,920, which the market tried to break before. We never had the power to do that, so we came back down again, and now we are retesting this previous resistance that, as I said, we tried to break it before, market failed to do that. We created a support, and right now we can possibly see the market pull back down to these Fibonacci levels for then break above the resistance, the previous resistance, and then see the market push back up to higher targets. So I mean, this is what I look for from the bullish perspective, based on that the weekly actually looks like we are pulling back to the upside. But we can of course see a bearish momentum, and if that is the case, we just might break below these levels at 20,230, create a huge bearish leg, and then we just might see the market create a lower high, and then see the market continue even more to the downside. And yeah, so this is what I see right now when it comes to Bitcoin. Same thing on Ethereum. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to drag this support back, because if we go back down to the daily and just go back in time, we can see that this is a previous support. We came back down to this level, and we are keeping it as a support too. We had two fake outs from it, so this is actually the real support. As you can see from this level, you saw the fake out, closed inside, retest, push back up. Market came back down on the lower time frames. This is candlesticks, market pull back inside, retest, now continue to the upside. So we're just gonna do the same thing, because obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum does follow each other. I'm gonna take a Fibonacci from this high at 1,918 back down to the support at 880. Okay, so if we see a bigger pullback to the upside, because the market did create a lower high, a lower low, so we just might see a bigger pullback. So what we're going to do is that we're going to identify 1,530 and 1,404. We're taking the Fibonacci away. Okay, no, sorry. What we're going to do is that we're also going to see that this is the overall target that we can see market potentially pull back down to. So this is long term. Taking this one away, and we're just going to identify that we are also inside a sideways market right here. So we understand resistance, support, and go down to the 4-hourly chart. We can also see that, okay, we did break the resistance trend line, and we're just gonna use this one because we're never allowed to cut any candles. Okay, so we saw the market break it. Another thing that we can do is that we drag a Fibonacci from 1070 back down to 1276, and we can see that we are right now retesting Fibonacci level 1170 and the 61.8% at 1150. Okay, so we see the market pull back down to these levels right now. We just might might see the market reverse. Target is 1,330. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna drag another, we're gonna have another line here so we know what we're looking for. Okay, so what we also can use is the support trend line. Remember, don't cut any candles, and if we're using it to the wick that we had from this low right here from 30th of June, we connected with this higher low because we are never allowed to cut any candles. Okay, so we can see that this support trend line is very good combined with this Fibonacci level that we can see. We just might see a slipper through it, but if that is the case, you can definitely see either the market break below, retest, and then see the market continue back even to lower targets. But what I'm looking for is the reverse to the upside, right? But this can happen because we do have a pretty volatile candlestick to the downside right now. We just might see the market break below, and if the market breaks this support trend line, the most important thing is to see what is the candlestick doing after the breakout. So what is the breakout candle doing? When we break it, do we close inside of it again, or do we only retest it? Because if we're closing inside and give us a retest, the break will only be a fake out, and at that point we just might also see the market break this resistance trend line, that the one that is representing the pullback. Based on the Fibonacci levels, we just might see the push create the higher low. If that is the case, I'm taking another, let's pretend now that it can look like this. If that is the case, I take the Fibonacci from the lower low, the fake out, to the higher high. That will give me the target potentially where the next higher low can be. If that is the case, I will buy the market and I will focus on the targets above here, and from these levels I do expect the market then to potentially break to the downside, and overall target is 500. Okay, so let's change that to a round number. This is how it looks right now. This is what I'm looking for. But remember that we are inside the sideways market, but looking at the weekly chart also, we do have not a inverted hammer, but it is a pretty volatile candlestick, and it wouldn't surprise me if we if from this support the market needs to pull back up to create a lower high, and we just might even go higher. I have no clue, but based on the Fibonacci levels that I'm using and trying to connect everything together, this is definitely something that I could potentially see happening at the moment. So we just have to wait and see what's gonna happen. Don't forget that you can also receive a bonus on BYBIT up to $4,450 by using the link in the description down below the video. You also have it here in the corner. BYBIT is great when it comes to swing trading, and BYBIT is so good with that when it comes to the low fees while we're holding our positions for a longer time. And you are supporting me in Bitcoinsensus, so I am always available for you. So claim this bonus up to $4,450. Thank you so much, guys, for looking at this video together with me. I hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know when I am live next time, or when I do have these daily updates every morning from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Swedish time. That is 1 hour before London session. I always have morning live streams, so we're going through the chart before the day happens. So hopefully I will see you in the morning live stream tomorrow. Mwah! Sweden.